What up? It's Jimmy from odds.com. This is a clip from our big NCAA tournament breakdown of the West region. To check out the entire show, hit the link at the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. And VCU Rams, number 10 seed, 19-7 on the year, versus the Oregon Ducks, 20-6, Indiana Farmers Coliseum in Indianapolis, Indiana. And let's see what we are dealing with. The Ducks open up as 5.5-point favorites. No movement. Total opened up at 138. It's dropped 1 point to 137. VCU comes in after losing the A10 championship game to St. Bonaventure, 74-65. Leading scorer in the Sean Highland went for 21 points, 6 rebounds in the loss. The only other starter to score double digits was Vince Williams, the team's second leading scorer, who went for 12 points and 9 boards. He averages 10.6 on the season. No other Ram scores more than 7.2 points per game. They score 71.7 points per game, play sloppy at times, turning the ball over 14.6 times a game. They had 45.1% from the field, 32.9% from three, and 76.1% from the foul line. Oregon had their 6-game winning streak snapped in a surprise 75-64 loss to Oregon State in the Pac-12 semis. They lost as 8-point favorites. They were just 6 of 23 from three. Oregon State dominated them on the glass. The Beavers out-rebounded Oregon 38-24, got 12 offensive boards. The Ducks have 5 players averaging double digits, led by seniors Eugene Omarui and Chris Duarte, who each score 16.7 points per game. The Ducks score 74.4 points, hit 47.2 from the field, 37.9 from three, and 70.4% from the foul line. Max, the last game for the West region. VCU Rams, Oregon Ducks. Take it away.
Jim, I'm going to definitely get excited about this game for a variety of different reasons. Not one being because there's a Pac-12 school involved. I'm still not a fan of the Pac-12. I still think that it's a subpar Power 6 conference. And to be quite frank with you, I'd rather watch elementary school basketball than watch the Pac-12. But in this particular matchup in the Pac-12, I have a soft spot because this Oregon team is a very good March Madness money-making team year in, year out, and that doesn't matter about the personnel. That comes down to Dana Altman being the coach. With Oregon, they reloaded. A lot of people thought that this would take a long time to adjust and a lot of things shaking out differently than people expected. Well, I'll tell you this. This Oregon team is healthy. They have all the pieces that they need, and this is the time that they got to bring their best. Yes, they lost to Oregon State. They lost to Oregon State also in conference season. So it doesn't surprise me that they had trouble with their in-state rival. That's a huge game for the Beavers. So I put that by the wayside. I think that with Oregon, they got to keep VCU off the free throw line. They got to press them and they got to take the ball away from them. They got to have good ball security versus VCU's press, and they got to show that you can score versus East Coast offense. So I think that beating up on Pac-12 teams is all good and gravy, but let's see you do it against some East Coast basketball. I think that with Oregon, they got to hit their second half free throws because they are very reliant on 3-point scoring. So in every other area that they can get and manage some points out of, they need to capitalize on that. And they need help from the bench now that it's healthy. Jalen Terry, Amari Hardy, Chandler Lawson, these are the guys that you need to contribute. When you look at the best players and the X factor for this team, well, listen, Dana Altman's a smart man. He may be coaching in a rotten conference, but when he recruits from the right part of the continent, and that's north of the border. Okay, Chris Duarte, what a player! 6'6". He's going to give you steals. He's going to give you pass deflection. He's going to block shots. He's going to handle the ball. He's going to be a quality on-ball defender. And listen, with his ability to guard without fouling, it just catapults him. He's going to be able to frustrate you on the other end because with his length, his strength, and his driving ability, he's going to get to the free throw line. He's going to then open you up because you're going to be so worried about freaking backing up and cutting off that lane to the rim. He's going to hit a 30. He's going to hit a 3-point shot against you. And just so you're aware, the dude does hit 43% from the line. I think that when you look at this guy, he's going to be aided by another Canadian, Jim. You mentioned him, Rexdale, Ontario, Eugene Amori. And Rutgers, you wish you had this guy right now, but you don't. Okay? And what Amori's going to do, he's going to be physical. He's going to use his length to take the ball away from you. He's going to get on transition and score the bucket while drawing fouls. He's strong on the ball. He's dangerous when attacking, and you can contest all the three-point shots you want against him. He's going to knock down 4 or 5 of them against you. He's a beast on the offensive glass on an undersized team. And with the ball in his hands late, I trust this team. So I haven't watched a ton of Oregon, but I've watched a ton of these two guys. My number would have been 7.5 with Oregon. I think that if you're going to get the best performance out of Oregon, you're probably going to want to jump on them first half against an unfamiliar opponent. And on the other side of the coin, because we got to look at it from both sides, VCU is slumping. They got smacked around by the Bonnies. It was like they were their bottom B in prison, and they had no say of what gone on to them. All right? Listen, VCU's got to win with defense, defense, defense. We know the numbers. They're both top 40 when it comes to field goal and three-point defense. Their takeaways are top 10% in the nation, and they force you to take difficult shots. But they are beatable. And if you can get up on them early, you can put them down for the go. I think that when you look at this VCU team, Bones Highland is going to be the critical piece that you got to stop. He's a gifted slasher, gifted shooter. He's a pickpocket. He's a good help. He's a good help defender. He's good in the trap without fouling. He forces opponents to put him on the free throw line so that they can avoid getting killed at the 3-point line by him. The X factor, if VCU is going to win this game, is not going to be Ace Baldwin. It's not going to be Vince Williams. It's going to be Hassan Ward. Hassan Ward is going to have a height advantage against a lot of Oregon's key rotational pieces, aside from Chandler Lawson. This is a guy that brings good offensive defensive rebounding when he stays out of foul trouble. He's a 61% field goal shooter, so he plays and stays within himself. And with him being in the top 10 in swats in the nation, he's a great help defender at his length. With all these nice things I just said about VCU, Jim, I still like Oregon first half. I still like the Canadian contingency. I still like Dana Altman, even though he has a very thinning head of hair on the top. I can help him with that. He just gave me a call. And you know what? I think that this is the one Pac-12 school that has some value and has some potential. So let's go Oregon first half for the official show pick. But I definitely lean towards Oregon full game as well.
Okay, so we have a -3 at -106, a -3 at -105. See if I can beat that here quickly. We have a -2.5 at -110 from BetMGM. I imagine that's going to be the best. Let's just check Fox Bet quickly here. And they're not putting out first half spreads, so I don't need to do that. There we go. Oregon Ducks, first half, -2.5 at -110, available at BetMGM. That concludes the West region. Absolutely spectacular work, Max.